All right, guys, did you just see President Trump's, whether you love him or hate him, it's irrelevant, right? Did you just see his State of the Union, okay? The coronavirus is a problem. Now, just like freight waves today, I'm not talking about the company, freight waves, I'm talking about volume and availability, right? Everyone that I see on YouTube puts on a cheery face. See that funny thing there? A cheery face going, oh, it's okay. Rates are going to come back. Rates haven't come back in 6 months. They have not come back. But everyone still keeps saying that, right? Everyone is saying the same thing about this particular virus. It's going to be all right. It's nothing. It's just a bad cold, okay? It may be a bad cold. But if you look at the percentages that are involved, it's a lot more than a bad cold as far as death and destruction goes. If a bunch of old people die, I mean, you and me may be fine, right? We're healthy, strong, ready to go. But how about your grandma? Is your grandma healthy and strong and ready to go? It can really disrupt everything. What I just heard on President Trump's State of the Union is that he's shutting down the borders. He's shutting down the borders for trade and everything else for a month. 6 weeks, I think, would be a little better. I don't know if you can afford 6 weeks without freight incoming into the United States. But if you cannot afford it on the front side, you're going to still feel it on the back side. I came through Chicago today. Last week, I went through New York City and I went through LA. The ports are shut down. They're shut down. Now, you may think that being the port shut down does not affect you, but it does, okay? Someone commented on a video that rail freight is up 110%. Let me insert a clip right here. Okay, did you see that? Rail freight is down 50% year over year for the last 10 years, okay? Including this year. But you can skew numbers in any kind of transportation industry. That freight that's not coming on rails, on the rail, or ships, so if there are ships staying out at sea, is going to affect our bottom line. If you are close to a bankruptcy, you might as well jump on into it, spend a bunch of money. But on the bright side, I think that Trump is going to maybe push the banks to do not a forgiveness, but a backside thing, right? Well, they'll take your debt and push it back to the end of your loan or something like that. I can see that coming. I can see that coming real soon, guys. It's going to be coming in the next week, I think. So that may save some of you guys. But I want to caution you about not thinking realistically about real life, okay? Now, I'm going to turn you over to the girl because she's probably got a whole different, she's smarter than I am or faster or whatever, right? She may not know everything I know, but she's still faster. So let's go see the girl.
So, I am here to tell you, there's certain stuff he takes care of, and there's certain stuff I take care of. We had trucks on the road with drivers in them on 9/11. And I can tell you one thing, none of them drivers had was this. This will get you where you need to go. And, I mean, I shouldn't say I carry a lot of cash. I don't carry a lot of cash. But at any given time, I have $1,000 in cash somewhere. Because you never know. And it might be more. Sometimes we spend some. Sometimes we don't. And we add to it. Because we have savings. We have cash. Whatever. It is what it is. But, I mean, 9/11 to me is an extreme example, right? Hopefully that's something that doesn't happen again. This current issue is an extreme example. a more common issue. About 5 years ago, we were in trucking, and I went into a TA, and the clerk apparently was not very bright because she was telling us how cell phones were down, the landline was down, and all the credit card machines was down, and she was literally announcing to everyone in the truck stop that it didn't even have any way to call the police, and they couldn't figure out why. If you were driving, I believe it was 5, maybe 6 years ago, I'm not exactly sure of the time, but if you were driving in that time, they claimed a line in Kentucky got cut, but it didn't wipe out the whole country. It was parts of Florida, parts of New York, parts of California, parts of like Seattle, Washington, parts of Alabama. And there were literally trucks at the truck stop that couldn't get fuel. So when I was down in Alabama, this came out, I got fuel and went home, and until I had enough fuel to use a card, I stayed home. So this gives you options. Lots and lots of this. And you need to keep this all the time.
Being prepared is very important. Maybe you're not at home. Maybe you cannot have a freezer like this, because this is only 3 weeks worth of food. But you better be prepared at home. That means that, yes, you should be hoarding toilet paper and things like that. I do not see a breakdown in services like electricity or water, but I do see a breakdown in things like food, okay? So I have always kept MREs on my truck, a fishing pole, ways that I can feed myself out here. You know, of course, we run the airport, so we're not armed. But you know what? I bet I can shoot a deer somewhere, right? I mean, you have to be able to take care of yourself if you can't get home. And if you can't get home, somebody at home has to be able to take care of home.
Picture that.
Now, if you didn't just listen to Trump, he just said that he's going to lock down the borders. What a political party tells you, it's going to be more than that, right? They're going to lock down the borders. That means freight is not going to come in, guys. All right. This is just nothing, right? This is just nothing. It's nothing. But you should have that. And if you don't have that, you need to work on that right now. Borders are coming down. And you still have to truck and make money. This is a reason for worry in this whole scenario. Because if the illegals come in across this border, like last week they caught 111 people sneaking in across the border they were Chinese, okay? No bad on the Chinese, but I'm talking straight, okay? So if you don't like it, kick rocks, right? All right, 111 Chinese coming across the border. How many of them was infected? Not that I care. The other 1,100 that came in that was not caught are going to make their way into the homeless population, and then the homeless population will get this virus. When the homeless population gets this virus, they will overrun community services and fill up the hospitals. Once the hospitals are filled up, where will anyone else go? Where will the people go that actually work? No, this isn't a big deal. It's the old folks that are dying. You're not an old folk. I'm not an old folk. No, I've got COPD. So there is a worry for me, okay? How about you? Do you have good lung capacity? I don't know. But where is it going to go in the long term? If community services are filled up, what's going to happen? Services will totally break down. In states like California, New York, where there's a big homeless population, they already have the bubonic plague. The bubonic plague comes from rats, okay? It's the, what is it? The
lack of septic systems, lack of...
Nope, it's the little things that bite you.
Mosquitoes?
Nope.
Fleas.
Fleas! Okay, Bubonic plague is carried by the fleas that bite rats. And when rats come in contact, rubbing each other in mass amounts, it propagates bubonic plague, which then spreads in the homeless. So this virus started on it came from the airplanes, right? So it's people that could afford to fly. That's why it's not affecting the homeless this time. But once it trickles down to the homeless, and then the bubonic plague takes off in the homeless, then it will trickle back upstairs to the penthouse. Okay? Just saying. It's my opinion. I'm not the president, but I might know more than him.